Today we're going to build a fire team centered around Kikuno in World Flipper. Do note that this is only a sample team and is in no way the best Kikuno team the game has to offer. We'll do our best to explain each unit and their skills as well as their synergies with each other. This Kikuno team focuses on the multiball mechanic. This team aims to keep multiball active as much as possible, as they deal more damage than the units themselves. Kikuno is not yet available on the global server. However, we will provide alternatives units that can replace her in the composition. Kikuno is a 5-star fire unit. She's not in the current unit pool yet, but her banner is not that far away. Her leader talent increases fire units attack by 30%, multiball attack by 40%, and HP by 10%. Her skill summons a red demon and a blue demon. The red one has double strike and penetration, while the blue one has levitate and regeneration. The demons stick around for 30 seconds. They also deal fire damage to enemies hit. Her first ability increases multiball's direct attack damage by 60%. Her second ability fills the fever gauge by 25 and further increases multiball direct attack damage by 3% when multiball appears. The maximum bonus is 30%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases fire units attack by 35% and multiball attack by 60% while 2 or more multiballs are present. Kikuno is a must-have if you are serious about building a multiball party. Her leader talent synergizes well with her skills and abilities. We'll place Hanabi as her sub-unit. Hanabi is a 4-star fire unit. Her skill throws bombs that deal fire damage to enemies hit and around them. Her first ability increases her attack by 8% every 30 combos. The maximum bonus is 40%. Her second ability heals fire units' HP by 3% every 20 ball flips. The maximum times this effect procs is 5 times. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It grants a multi-hit buff of 40% for 10 seconds when her own skill activates. We'll place Emmy, a 3-star fire unit, in the second main slot. Her skill lowers the enemy's attack by 30% for 15 seconds. It also applies a fire resistance debuff of 20% for 15 seconds and removes 1 buff from the enemy. It's a loaded skill, and to find this on a 3-star unit is awesome. Her first ability fills her skill gauge by 100% at the start of battle. However, she damages herself by 10% of her max HP. This is really powerful since she can immediately debuff the enemy at the start of battle. Her second ability increases the party's attack by 4% each time she activates a skill. The maximum is 20%. Her last ability only activates when she is the main unit. It fills the skill gauge of a fire unit by 12% every time the unit activates a skill. We'll place Emmy as her sub-unit. Emmy is a 3-star fire unit. Her skill summons fireballs and deals damage to enemies hit. The skill lasts for 30 seconds. Her first ability increases the attack power of fire units by 4% every 20 ball flips. The maximum is 20%. Her second ability further increases fire units' attack by 15% when 2 or more multiballs are present. Her third ability increases multiball's HP by 20% when she is the main unit. Emmy and Emmy can fire their skills as soon as the battle starts thanks to any skill gauge fill abilities. It is possible to keep the multiballs active indefinitely if Emmy's third ability is maxed out. For our third main slot, we're going to use Marina. You can also use 𝐋𝐈𝐍𝐿 when her banner comes out. Marina is a 5-star fire unit. Her skill deals fire damage at the top of the board. The more enemies grouped up at the top, the more effective the attack is. It also spawns a number of minions who join the fight. Her first skill increases attack power by 30%. Her second ability increases her attack power by 12% every time you flip the ball 20 times. The maximum is 60%. It also increases multiball attack power by 2% for a max of 10%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases power flip damage by 50% and grants a penetration buff for 5 seconds every time the ball is flipped 20 times. We'll put Clarice as her sub-unit. Clarice is a 5-star fire unit. Her skill deals fire damage in front of her and lower fire resistance by 25% for 30 seconds. It also removes a buff from the enemy. Her first ability increases skill damage by 15% and fills the skill gauge by 80%. Her second ability increases skill damage by 40% when her skill activates. The bonus damage increases up to a maximum of 120%. Her last ability only applies when she is the main unit. It increases the skill gauge by 15% for every 5 enemies defeated. Here is our Kikuno Multiball team. Kikuno is the leader of the party with Hanabi as her sub-unit, with Emmy and Marina at the front lines. Marina and Clarice will fill out the roster. Next, we will discuss a variation to this team composition featuring fever mechanics. We'll place Hanabi as our leader. Her leader talent increases fire units' attack by 30% and fills their skill gauge by 100% at the start of battle. Hanabi is the only character that enables all fire units to use their skills at the start of battle. She's mainly used as a leader in multiple compositions. We'll place Marina as her sub-unit. Christmas Marianne is a 5-star fire unit. She's not available in global yet, but her banner isn't that far away. We'll place her in the second main slot. Her skill fires a laser beam towards a present thrown in front. It deals fire damage and inflicts a fire resistance debuff of 25% for 20 seconds to enemies hit and surrounding enemies. Her first ability increases fire units' skill damage by 30%. Her second ability fills the fever gauge by 25 when a fire unit's skill activates. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It fills the skill gauge of fire units when her skill activates by 10%. It also heals their HP by 5% of max HP up to 3 times. We'll place Christmas Oreo as her sub-unit. Christmas Oreo is a 4-star thunder unit. He's also not in global yet. His skill summons a sack of presents that deal thunder damage to enemies hit. It also fills the fever gauge by 50. His first 2 abilities increase the fever mode duration by 30% combined. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases thunder units' skill damage by 10% for every 3 multiballs. Here is our Multiball plus fever team. Hanabi is the leader of the party this time, with Marina as her sub-unit, with Kikuno and Christmas Marianne at the front lines. Emmy and Christmas Oreo will fill out the roster. It's easy to go into fever mode with this team since the fever gauge fills up every time a multiball appears thanks to Kikuno's second ability. Marina's skill summons a lot of multiballs while Christmas Oreo fills the fever gauge and extends the fever mode duration. Next, we will provide alternate units to fill the roster. Colt is a 3-star thunder unit. He can serve as the main unit in this team composition. His skill generates thunderballs that last for 30 seconds and deal thunder damage to enemies. His first ability increases his attack by 20%. His second ability increases thunder units' attack by 5% every 20 ball flips, maximum 20%. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases multiball's attack by 40%. This is the main reason to add him to the party. Colt's skill also summons multiballs and has a short skill wait time. He is super easy to use and can spam his skill with proper support. Byron is a 5-star dark unit. His skill deals dark damage to enemies for 10 seconds. It also grants an attack buff of 100% for 12.6 seconds. Lastly, it applies a penetration buff to all units for the same amount of time. Penetration buff allows units to pass through enemies instead of bouncing off them. His first ability buffs attack by 30%. His second ability increases the attack of all units by 60% when they have the penetration buff. His third ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases his own attack by 30% and makes him do more damage to beast, spirit, dragon, and undead type enemies by 25%. The main reason to add him to the party is his penetration buff. He can serve as a sub-unit. Levi is a 4-star fire unit. Her skill deals fire damage in the direction of the nearest enemy. The damage scales with the number of buffs she has. Her first ability increases the leader's HP by 15%. Her second ability increases the leader's attack by 20%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It grants all members the penetration buff while the combo count is at 30 or above until the next ball flip. It also decreases the combo count needed for power flip level 3 by 6. Levi can be a sub-unit in this composition and is mainly here for the leader buffs. Nephtime is a 5-star light unit. Her skill summons a shower of meteorites that deal light damage to enemies hit. It also fills the fever gauge by 60. Her first ability increases fever mode duration by 20%. Her second ability increases her damage when the boss is broken or down by 25%. Her third ability only activates when she is the main unit. It increases like unit's attack by 60% during fever. It also fills the fever gauge by 25 when she recovers her own HP. Nephtime can be a sub-unit. She can summon multiballs and can reach and maintain fever mode. Bianca is a 4-star fire unit. She can deal fire damage and reduce fire resistance with her skill. The fire resistance reduction is 25% and lasts for 30 seconds. Her first ability increases the leader's attack by 25%. Her second ability increases the damage done by the leader during break by 15%. Her last ability increases the attack power of dragon-type units by 40%. However, it only activates when is the main unit. Bianca can be a sub-unit. She mainly supports the leader and provides fire resistance debuff. Noen is a 5-star fire unit. She's not available in global yet, but her banner isn't far away. Her skill grants the fire leader an attack buff of 50% for 20 seconds. It also grants all allies a power flip damage buff of 100% for 20 seconds, heals HP of the party by 10% of max, and heals 50% HP on fire units. Her first ability increases fire units' buff duration by 10%. Her second ability increases the leader's attack by 5% every time a fire unit's skill activates, maximum 50%. It also lowers the combo count needed for power flip level 3 by 2. Her third ability grants fire units a multi-hit buff of 2x and 30% for 15 seconds when she is the main unit. Noen can be a sub-unit and is mainly for healing and leader buffs. Jin is a 3-star fire unit. His skill heals the party with 50% more effectiveness on fire units. It also grants an attack buff. His first ability buffs his own attack by 10% and makes him immune to poison debuff. His second ability increases his own attack by 30% when his HP is 60% or above. His last ability only activates when he is the main unit. It increases a fire unit's attack when the unit has an attack buff by 30%. It also grants the party immunity to poison debuff. Jin can be a sub-unit. He is mainly here for healing and will be useful once the labyrinth content comes to global. Kate is a 3-star wind unit. Her skill deals wind damage to enemies in front. Her first ability increases her damage by 15% during enemy break down. Her second ability does the same thing as her first. Her third ability further increases her damage during enemy break down by 30% when she is the main unit. Kate can be a sub-unit and is mainly here for her break down abilities. Here are the alternate units for our multi-ball team. There aren't a lot of candidates for main units, but there are a lot of options for sub-units. Next, we'll talk about the recommended weapons for this team composition. Recommended weapons. Prometheus Sword. 5-star fire weapon. Can be gotten Labyrinth Collapsed Zone Fire. Increases the skill damage of fire units when own skill activates by 10%, maximum 50%. Fills own skill gauge by 5% every 15 balls flips for up to 10 times. Ruin King Staff. 5-star fire weapon. Can be gotten from boss coin exchange golem, purple coin. Increases Multiball's attack by 3.13% for each fire unit in the party, maximum 18.75%. Increases fire units' attack by 10% and wind resistance by 5% while 2 or more multiballs are present. This is also the recommended ability Soul. Female Pirate's Feast. 5-star all-element weapon. Complete World 3. Increases Multiball HP by 10% and attack by 10%. Partisan. 4-star all-element weapon. Can be gotten from gacha. Increases Multiball's attack power by 50%. That's it for our Kikuno Multiball Fire team. If you found this guide useful, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to like and share as well. It really helps us out and motivates us to make more videos for World Flipper. Watch out for more team building guides in the coming days. Have fun and we'll see you again next time.